Hey, welcome back to another edition of Open Shutter, and have the pleasure of starting the new month off of August off with Andrew on. I think this is like your fifth time on, man. So I think you have the record for the most appearances on this podcast. So
I must have a lot to say.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm gonna say it's a good thing. But yeah, welcome back, man.
Thank you.
It's been a while. I think the last time you were on was like March of like last year, 2024. So how's your summer going, man?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. It's
Yeah,
been busy as normal, but it's pretty hot out there to be shooting and stuff. So I get
it's
some
too
beach.
hot.
I
It's
got
too
some
hot.
beach. I got some beach shoots lined up for this weekend, so that's gonna
Do
be fun.
you? Where about?
Probably the Bluffs or Burlington Beach.
Oh, yeah.
But
Preference?
I don't know the Bluffs. I do Bluffers Park more.
Yeah, is that better?
So yeah, I'm trying to do Sunrise. So
Mm.
Bluffers Park is. I mean, the Bluff itself is a little hard because I actually use flash with my stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I like the backlight from the sun. So
Right, right. I guess for the people that don't know who you are, maybe just a quick
yes.
sum up
So
of
Andrew Mussington Photography. I've been doing this about photography for since maybe 2015, 2016,
yeah,
and I try to shoot and be comfortable shooting every genre I can shoot
yeah.
because it
But you
all
have a
helps.
preference for. But you have a preference for.
I have a preference for outdoor off-camera flash.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And what's like the thing that grabs you about it?
Just that there's a lot of natural light shooters out there, and I can
Right.
shoot natural light,
Yeah.
but in sunrises, you can't get those photos.
Can't. It's
You
impossible.
can't you can't be unless and if you don't mind shadow on your face, that's
Yeah.
fine. But if your back's to the sun, you're gonna be in shadow.
Yeah.
So you need to flash people from the front to get it better.
Mm.
So you take those natural highlights from the water and the sun itself,
Right.
and you get rid of that ambient light and
Yeah, yeah,
create
yeah.
some really good stuff.
No, it's good, man. It's good. I mean, like the last few times on, we were talking about like how you do things, and you've been at it for 10 years, right? So it's taken you 10 years to get to like this point, right? So I think it just shows like it doesn't happen overnight. Like it's a process, you know.
A lot of process, a lot of failures, a lot of trying and errors, and just keep. I guess the fact is, you just keep shooting.
Yeah,
You learn so many things. So
yeah. So what do
I'm
you
trying to
think?
branch into some other things like some video and
Are
actually
you?
behind the scenes for all my shoots and
Who wants the video? Does the client want it or do you want it?
both. It's a little hard because sometimes we don't actually practice to do the videos. We kind of do impromptus and
Right, right. Oh,
see what
I'm
we
gonna make a
get.
reel. I'm gonna make a reel. Okay.
Yeah, just
All
to make
right.
it real. And you know what?
Right.
Video is king today. We
Yeah.
all know, and I got my Osmo Pocket 3 now too, and
Okay. All
got
right.
some drone work I have too as well. But
Oh yeah.
to be a photographer. I think you have to really branch out today to
Yeah.
because clients want more, right?
It's tough to stand out sometimes.
Yeah, true enough. Like there's, you look on Instagram and people may or may not like Instagram anymore, but
Yeah.
it is a medium that people like to look at,
Yeah.
and you can be the best photographer and not get any work. You can be the worst photographer and get lots of work. So
Yeah.
it's
Wild.
but I'm just saying, not it's not easy, right?
Yeah, it's just that's I guess that's really just more about like who you know kind of thing, right? It's more about like I don't know, can I work with this person? You know, like is this person able to like deliver? Like it's more about I guess people don't really have the time to like vet. They just like to go with people that they know, that they're comfortable with, I guess, you know.
Well, and I guess that could be some networking, but I think the networking aspect sometimes it gets a little out of hand. Like,
Yeah.
you want to take part in, say, fashion shows.
Mm.
Um, Truth be known, I'm not sure that everyone knows this, but a lot of the major fashion shows in Toronto,
Yeah.
the models are not paid,
Right.
and the photographers have to pay to go to them.
Yeah.
And
So
so,
yeah,
and so
interesting.
then the issue becomes, um, how do you get photos from a fashion show?
Right.
So you have to bump into the photographer afterwards, and
Yeah.
to get those photos, a lot of times the models think it should be for free.
Mm.
And the models have long days, and the makeup artists have even longer days. And
Yeah.
it seems like we're I'm not saying we're being taken advantage of, but we all want to create good content. We all want great pictures of ourselves,
Yeah.
but we don't really actually never talk about the cost.
Yeah, I think it just takes like one event like that to like kind of like not devalue the stuff, but like almost to make it okay to like, oh, just come in. You have to pay. Like, I don't know, like for me to like pay to attend an event, if you're a fashion photographer, like I would rather like have like fashion photographers that are like invited. Like they don't have to pay. Like your work is good, we'll pay you because we know that you can deliver the work.
I,
It's
I
like a
think,
job, right? It's like a job. Like we're gonna hire you to do it instead of paying to get in.
but we're in an industry where a lot of people do not want to pay for things they get.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
It's
know,
interesting.
you do a photo shoot and you're there with a qualified, a good photographer,
Right.
and you whether it's paid or not paid, um, and maybe you decide on how many photos you get from a photo shoot. But my thoughts are if you're an accomplished photographer, it probably doesn't even take you long to get great shots in the first place.
Oh.
And so you do that 4 hour photo shoot and you get 15 photos. It's kind of weird,
Mm.
and so, but I guess
Yeah.
if that's the deal you've made, that's a good deal. But it's just like, in many ways, I think people do or may get let down by the number of photos they get back from photo shoots.
Yeah, it's interesting because like even with like TFP shoots, for example, too, right? Like it's almost like, you say, okay, you do want to get the experience, but you also, I mean, at the same time, you do want to get some sort of like like compensation for it too. So it's a tricky slope because once you kind of put yourself in that corner, so sometimes it's tough to get out of that corner, right? Because you've already kind of put
Yeah,
yourself
I
there,
think it is. I think it is,
right?
and maybe for a lot of photographers out there, they're lucky this is not their main gig.
Yeah.
But if you're a full fledged photographer, and maybe you're a great marketer, though, you could be a great
Mm,
marketer of your of
mm,
your of your products,
mm.
so that you might do much better.
Yeah, there's ways to do it. I think we're just talking offline about just kind of like understanding more of like the client and what the client wants and kind of like asking questions, asking better questions, like listening to like what that person wants because sometimes that person doesn't know what they want. They just, oh, I just, they see a photo on Instagram. Oh, I want that because I see it. It's like, okay,
Well, yeah, and
you know what I mean?
the issue with that is that you know I try and pride myself on being able to recreate photos, like I actually having
Right.
the ability to do so, and to do that, you need some experience to do so,
Yeah.
and you might need equipment to do so, and
Yeah.
you need a venue to do all these things, and
Yeah.
I want that photo, but well, do you have a venue to shoot at? Well,
Hmm.
so and now there's a lot of great venues in Toronto today. I'm sure many people know them, and they're from $65 to 150 to $200 an hour
Yeah.
to utilize.
Yeah.
So if so, where does that that financial outlay come from?
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
if you want to have a portfolio,
Yeah.
you know, like what is a portfolio? A portfolio is not, a portfolio could be like 15, 20 pictures total.
Yeah. Of course.
So if you're saying I need to go do my portfolio, if you go to a not a fashion house, what do you call it? An agency.
Yeah.
What does that cost you?
Yeah.
And what are your rights going to that agency with those photos? Or can you work with whoever you want? Maybe you can.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's where you have to understand contracts. That's where you may need to get like a lawyer involved too, right? Like understanding like what's happening, which also costs money. If you want to get a lawyer involved, it costs money, right? So
Well, yeah, and even if the models or the photographers go that far,
yeah,
does every photographer give a model release? Does every model
they should.
walk around with one? Maybe they should. Maybe they
They
should.
should. They should.
But we also know about the copyright laws, but still
Yeah.
those can be contradictory too. But uh,
Yeah.
and then also if you're doing branding, a lot of people now are obviously trying to start businesses because whether there's because of the high unemployment rate or things
Hmm.
like that going on.
Hmm.
If you want brand work, expect to be paying quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
And the thing is, who's got that money today?
I don't know.
Like that's, you know, like again, if you're getting working with brands, you should expect to be paid, right? Because
Yeah,
part of that payment is for the rights of those photos.
yeah, of course.
You know.
Sometimes like you have the rights forever too. Like it's like they just you have the rights forever. It
Well,
doesn't
yeah,
doesn't expire.
and like I said, reading that contract, you know, because they might say once I pay you for these photos, you can't use them either.
Yeah, exactly. They're gone. They're
You
off. They're
know,
off. They're off your hard drive.
are
Yeah.
you are you do you have any information on if brands actually go after photographers for that? Have you heard that
Uh,
before?
I mean, I don't. I mean, I think a lot of photographers go after brands. I mean, unless you're really big, like unless you're like you're a superstar, you may get like random brand deals come into your inbox. But also at the same time, those brand deals may not be as lucrative as what you think it is, right? Like you need to like what is it that you want? Like what are well, like what's like what what kind of like deliverables do you need? So depends on like again the contract and understanding the contract because who knows, maybe they can use like the video that like the reel that you do forever and maybe that reel goes viral and all of a sudden it's got 10 million views and then what?
Well,
Maybe you
we can all hope for that, but yes.
yeah, well, I mean that's the dream, but also you want to get like reimbursed for something, right? You need to I think that's where like having contracts are so important and like having just kind of like protecting yourself and like being compensated adequately.
Mhm.
I mean, there's even like, you could even go the route of like sports athletes or like movie stars now, like big time movie stars, where they don't want to get paid for doing the movie. They want a percentage of the box office,
Oh,
right? So,
mhm.
I mean, if you're Tom Cruise making Mission Impossible, I want like a percentage of the box office, which, obviously is a lot of money, right? So there's, I mean, you could get pretty creative with like the contract, but it depends on like how
Well,
big you are, like what can you do for us, right?
well, so when you're approached by, I guess I'm asking questions of you today, but
Yeah,
when you're approached by a client
yeah,
or you want to approach a client,
yeah.
how does that trade-off happen? Like, does it, like your interest? So that does that mean you automatically should be paid, or if you,
Yeah.
or vice versa?
Well, I mean, typically, like if I want to work with someone, like typically I'll like I want to have a conversation, understand like what they want, like what is it that you want, because the first question is like, what's your rate? That's usually the first question, or and I don't like doing that because either it could be way low or it could be way high. So I'm more about kind of like trying to like base around your budget and see if we work together because also that job may lead to a job 6 months from now and that job could lead to another job a year from now, so you may get three jobs out of it. So it's more
Yeah.
about having the conversation, understanding, okay, so like what is it that you want? You want two videos, you want 10 photos. Okay, so what's like the time frame here? Like what's like the editing, like what kind of editing do you want, right? So it's more about giving like a menu, like what from the menu do you want, and then we can talk about price, right? But usually price for me comes later because you could again put yourself in a corner, like oh too low, too high. Okay, so
Well, because see what I run into, you know, I have kind of changed my way of shooting slightly.
yeah,
I believe that I'm going to work with a fewer number of models more often.
exactly.
It's because sometimes you know what you're going to get, and secondarily, you hopefully pick or associate with models that are very diverse in what they can shoot.
Yeah.
And so they become experienced, I guess,
Mm,
and so those those are better people are better to work with. But then you
yeah.
do awfully reach out because you do need new content, new faces,
Right.
new ideas,
Right.
and even to some of the international models, it might be interesting in some of those because it's very unique
Yeah.
to shoot them, right? But
Yeah.
what I'm seeing too is though you approach a model today and they'll say, I'll do that for $200 per hour," and I'm thinking to
Yeah.
myself, and that turns a lot of people off. It
Yeah.
turns me off in a lot of ways because my
Yeah.
thoughts are, who's making $200 an hour that you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, exactly. Right.
And as a photographer, the next question that some other photographers said to me is, "Do you ever get a receipt from them for tax reasons?"
Hmm.
I'm like, I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good point to make is the tax stuff on it too, right?
Because
Not
as a photographer, we can write some things off,
yeah,
as in studio time,
right.
wardrobe, equipment.
Yeah,
I guess the
sure.
cost of the model. But if we're gonna pay the model, we have to be able to trace that because we're gonna try and write it off.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
And
So you need the receipt. Yeah, of
so you need
course.
that receipt. And like I
Yeah.
said, I don't know many photographers that ever have said to me that they've got a receipt from a model they've shot before.
Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe they're not as hardcore as we think they are, maybe who knows, right? But
Whether the model or the photographer.
well, either or, right? Like it's really treating it like a true business, right? Where,
Mm-hmm.
it's not this is not just yeah, sure, it's fun and we show up, we have some fun, but also it's like it's business. Like this is business, right? So I think if people treat it more like a business and treat it more like, you're going to work, right? So you need to be able to kind of be professional and understand like what happens after the shoot, like what happens after, right? Like who
Yeah.
gets what, so
Mm-hmm. It's the art of it, right?
yeah, there's it's two different worlds, right? Like we always live in two different worlds. Yes, we want to be the artsy fun type, but also the other foot is we have to be like business people. We have to be like CFOs of companies because that's essentially what you are. Is like you are running your own business, so you need to wear all these different hats, which is totally separate from like being
Mhm.
like the artsy type, right? So they're two different like skill sets I find, which is
Yeah,
hard
that
for people. Like,
that marketing side of it is difficult, and
yeah, it's
and
hard, right?
and because like you said, when someone comes out and says, "Yeah, what's your rate?" or
Yeah, what's your
you
rate?
know,
That's the question.
or
What's the rate?
if
Okay,
you want to work with me, it's going to cost you $200 an hour. You're like, oh,
that's what I mean.
because suddenly again, cost of studio time. Like when
Yeah,
winter comes, modeling doesn't stop, or photographers don't necessarily stop, or maybe they do now.
yeah,
A lot of people shoot outside for not because they necessarily want to, it's because
yeah,
that's what they can
because
afford.
it's free.
Yeah.
It's free, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, but then you got to learn how to shoot outside.
Yeah.
That's how you gotta know how to use the off-camera flash.
Yeah. Or natural light too. But again,
Yeah,
I'm a strobist because I just like the look of it, and I like
yeah,
being able to control the lighting of where I am. So that means I can shoot
right.
at night still.
Yeah, exactly.
Or in troubling or difficult situations.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's I don't know. I've like we're always our own worst enemy sometimes because we always, sometimes we kind of like we don't price our stuff as high as we should be because we're always afraid of like losing the gig.
Hmm.
But that also hurts us because we should be pricing higher. If we really truly believe that our work is good, then people that want to buy a Ferrari have to pay the price of a Ferrari, right? They're not going to pay the price of like a Honda Civic. Like what the hell, right? So that's what I mean. Like having the confidence of like my work is worth this. So either you want it or you don't.
And then to turn just if they're not interested in getting that paying that price, you have to let them go, and so they
You
walk away.
do. Well,
So
yeah,
that
because that's who you are, right? You can't, there's always room for like negotiation, but at the same rate, you need to be comfortable with what you're getting paid because that person may tell someone else and that person may tell someone else, and all of a sudden you've gone from like a high bar to like a lower bar because just trying to get the client, right? So it's
remember
important
the
for us to like stick to our guns a little bit.
remember those days when people said, you know what, this will be great exposure for you.
Yeah, those days are over, man. Like those days are over. Like
And why do you think they're over?
because like because the world is a much different place than I was like even like 3 years ago, right? Like there's so much online presence now, like that it doesn't matter like about exposure. Like it doesn't matter.
Well, and that's why I have sometimes trouble with the photography aspect of it too, because our to be honest, our cell phones do very good jobs at do many
Yeah,
things, whether it's video or photos.
sure.
And everyone's taking trying to get their moments of not, I wouldn't even say it's moments of fame anymore. It's just
Yeah,
that they're tracking every moment.
yeah. Well, that's what I
So
mean. It's
so,
everywhere.
so to create new projects, new visions and mood boards to do stuff, you really
Right.
got to be really trying hard.
Yeah, I think that's where having really good ideas come from, and not trying to follow the trend and not trying to copy what everyone else is doing because yes, I get it. We're trying to get like the clicks, but I mean, to have really good ideas, I think you really need to kind of listen to like your own gut and say, no, this is what I want to do, and we'll see what happens, right?
Well, yeah, and I guess that's the collaborative idea of a say a possible photo shoot. But then
Yeah,
still, I think that with all that, still it's just the costs over top of it is still there.
yeah,
And you know what? I'm a person. I buy apparel for my shoots or
right,
for ideas. And my
yeah,
thoughts are that's just my expense. But I really try to put the models I shoot in situations where they're going to succeed.
mm,
So whether it's um, if you want to shoot in a studio, okay, let's research a studio. Let's see what kind of lighting effects that could possibly do for the shoot. So
yeah,
all those
yeah,
things are going in mind. I remember, I've worked on some as a second shooter on some weddings before, and I know the primary photographer would say stuff like, "Yeah, before before they chose the destination for the church, I wish you would have
yeah,
checked with me for the lighting because we can't shoot in here."
yeah.
Or so
Oh my
you really
God.
have you really have to work with someone, a photographer or a lighting specialist, something like that, so they can actually speak to those issues before you even pick up the venue.
Yeah, it's a tough spot if you already booked it.
Right. So
That's a tough spot.
because every time you go to a studio, it's not gonna be perfect, especially the
Yeah,
first couple of times you go there, because you have to
yeah,
learn things about the place. But
hmm,
my thoughts are is that if you're working with a more accomplished photographer, possibly
yeah.
that photographer might be able to recreate that shot anywhere.
Sure. Well, because that's what you're paying for.
That expertise, right?
That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the knowledge. You're paying for the experience, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
again, that's why that person shouldn't lower the rate because this is why you're paying this, right? So, just a matter of just like kind of just staying true to yourself and just believing in yourself and believing that what you're offering is worth the price, right? Because I also think that you could charge more for it. Like, where's like the ceiling too, right? Like maybe people should charge more. Like, how do you know? Like, it's such a subjective thing. Like, should it be
Mm-hmm.
this? Should it be that? Should the price be this? Should the price be that? It's worth whatever the person's willing to pay for it. If the person's going to pay 10
Yeah,
grand, it's worth 10 grand.
that's the
You know what I
interesting
mean?
thing
That's
about
art.
it.
You
Yeah,
pay
that's
for a
it.
painting. You buy a painting. It has like 3 squares on it, and the person pays $1 million. Is that painting worth $1 million? Well, the person paid for it, so it must be.
Well, because see, you run into the issue too. Is like um, when you do a photo shoot, the subject they generally, I would think, people like images of themselves.
Oh yeah,
They kind of
huge.
fall in love with them. So you're like, oh,
Yeah.
so like, and so sometimes a person will ask stuff like, "Can I get all the raws?" And I know
Yeah,
I've had lots of
sure.
shows on that stuff before, but
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and then you're like, okay, or do you want every photo from the photo shoot? And you're
Right,
like,
right. Yeah.
wow, because again, if you're a good photographer, right, or if you like your image as it is,
Yeah.
you're gonna accept them all, whether you use it or not. That's a different story.
Yeah. Well, that's where having the contract comes in and making sure like what you send corresponds to the contract. So
Well,
if you don't want if you don't want to send the raws, then you should have that in the contract, right? So
yeah, myself, I've never done that,
yeah,
but that's just I don't know, a creative
creative thing.
take. I take on photos,
Yeah, yeah.
but I guess it is an issue for many people.
I see it all the time on like Instagram. Like they have these like funny reels about like models asking for all the raws, and it's like this funny reel about it. I'm like, okay, like
Yeah,
why?
and
Why do you want them? Are you gonna edit these yourself? I don't get it.
well, yeah, and I know people want to edit their own photos for many reasons.
Yeah.
I believe that you shoot with a photographer for his way of shooting you,
Right. Right.
and so, but obviously, models or people will say stuff like, can you make the picture make my edits warmer? Well, what
Yeah.
does that mean? I don't even know what that
Mm,
means
mm.
because everyone sees a picture differently, right?
Yeah. Sure.
So you're like, oh, so then they're telling you how to edit without actually knowing what you.
Knowing what? Yeah. Interesting.
So and like my thoughts are like for a photo shoot, I edit
Yeah.
a lot of photos. Why? because I think I use them as a way of practicing editing.
Yeah.
Like the more you edit, the better at editing you probably will be.
Do you like editing?
I love it. Yeah,
You
I
do, right?
shoot. I shoot to edit.
Shoot
So
that. Yeah.
I shoot to edit. So
Hmm.
I try and get my photo as close to what I want as possible, and
Yeah.
then I use my imagination from there. I don't use any presets either.
That's good. That's
So
good.
so from
You're not lazy. You're not lazy, man.
no, so from photo to photo, the photo might change slightly because I'm probably trying to do something to it,
Mm.
right? So I'm and I'm also a photographer who I shoot with intention too. If I want the person's face to be dark on one side, it's not because I made a mistake. It's because I want it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's just like doing videography. I think when you do videography, you have to shoot with
Course.
intention, don't you?
Of course. Otherwise, you have a mess after.
Right. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I want I'm a slow shooter as well. So there's no paparazzi shooting here. So I'm not capturing every third of a second shots either. So
Yeah.
because my thoughts are the slower I shoot, the less editing I probably have to do.
Which is good. You want to use your time wisely, right?
So, I know people when they do a photo shoot, they're all hyped up for the images when we show the back of the camera, or
Yeah.
even today when we're showing on the monitor screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but for me, when the photo shoot ends, I get nervous about my shots.
Do you?
I get nervous.
Oh.
I'm like, oh my god, was it truly as good as I thought they were?
They're better.
No, I don't know. Sometimes I think
They're all bangers, man. They're all bangers.
They look really good at the time, but are they that good? Were they in focus? And
Oh my god.
then you run into your editing, and sometimes you're out of focus. You're like, oh my god, I can't use those.
Oh no.
Then you say, well, maybe the client won't notice. Well, no, I don't. Or sometimes that's a vibe. No,
No, it's not a vibe. It's not a focus. That's the vibe.
it's out of focus. Out of focus.
Yeah, interesting.
I know you can't always get both. You can't get both eyes in there, but
Right.
tack sharp. But I try.
Mm.
And so to knowing those things or wanting to make sure your client's happy, I think that's super important. And so when they see your work and on my Instagram feed, I don't post as much anymore after.
I saw you haven't posted anything, man. What's going
I
on
don't
with
post.
Where do you-
Reason why I don't post is
Yeah.
because well, I was using the big square motif there for Instagram,
Yeah.
and then they changed the aspect ratio of the pictures.
Yeah.
To myself, do I delete the whole thing, or what do I do with it?
Mm.
Or do I just put up a story every day?
Mm.
So I put up a lot of stories, right? So people
Yeah.
respond to my stories pretty good. So so I just I'm constantly making stories, and but showcasing the work that way, and because I think I'm very varied with my work.
Yeah.
So, one day I'll be shooting headshots. So I'm a fitness photographer at heart.
Yeah.
Who likes taking portraits, which are
Yeah.
headshots. So I try and mix them together, and so by doing them both, I kind of learned how to do them both.
Mm.
And so I think that when you see a photo and you it's kind of you don't really get to see the how would I say the sharpness of the person's face because they're so far back in the frame of the picture.
Right.
And I think to myself, is that what the photographer wanted? Is anything in focus in that picture? I'm not really sure. And so it's a different vibe of shooting. But I like 3/4 shots. An 85 millimeter would be great. 105 I use, and those are 3/4 or headshots. And of course, when you're doing the beach and stuff, you have a wider lens, 35s or 20, and so then I get full body. But generally, I'm doing 3/4 of the person's body.
Right.
So
And that works out.
I think it works out very well. I like to I like the person's face to be visible, and I think and expressive and tilting of the head and all those things. And I've been lucky enough to work with some models that really understand how I work that way.
Yeah.
And so we just seem to get so many clear shots
Yeah.
all the time, no matter where we go,
Yeah.
and that's what I want.
Yeah. You're in like the flow state.
Yeah,
Like
like
you're just doing it. Yeah.
like I would say, I'll say a model when you get to my shoot, I would say, if you had 10 outfits, wear number 5 to the shoot. And so
Right.
the first shots I should say would be my test shots. But
Yeah.
and what I really like though is when I'm dialed into the shoot, four
Yeah.
or five shots in, and
Mm.
so because you've done it, so it's so repetitive. You've done it so many times. You're like, even if the shot's too hot or too powerful for the strobe, if that is,
Right.
you know how to correct those things quickly.
Yeah. Well, that's
And
important.
yeah, and I think that I'm not sure if models know that or how photographers work, because again, for videography, I'm using DaVinci Resolve right now, and
Mm-hmm.
and woo, it's a different learning curve,
Mm-hmm.
right?
The
It's like,
whole different beast, man.
yeah,
Different
different
beast.
beasts, and
Yeah.
you're flipping between screens and stuff like that, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, this is not at all what I thought it would be, and that's what's create reels, right? Creating
Yeah.
reels.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I know you can use CapCut and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and but if you are using CapCuts and stuff like that now, they're changing their usage.
Yeah. I saw
So they're
that.
saying now that they might own some of your
I
photos.
saw that. Yeah. No, I saw that. It's crazy.
So once I heard that, I'm like, I gotta start learning DaVinci Resolve,
Right.
right?
Nothing wrong with
Because
that. Nothing wrong with
no,
that.
there's not. But again,
Yeah.
do you see how you have to really change with the times, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's good to learn different platforms, different, I mean, editing photos like video, it's such a personal thing, right? Like it's
Hmm.
such an involved process where you need to really find your own style, like your own kind of workflow, your own kind of like thing, because there's so many things involved at the same time with like editing video too. So, it's not like you said, it's not easy. Like I
Do you
mean,
like
even for like
editing? Do you like
I like
editing
edit.
video?
Yeah, I do. I do. I like editing video a lot. I don't know. There's just so many ways you can do it. Like there's so many ways you can slice it up, right? So that's what I mean about kind of like finding your own style and not trying to kind of like follow like the trends on like TikTok or like Instagram. Like you kind of want to like have your own kind of voice out there, right? Otherwise, you just kind of get swallowed up by
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Do you think Instagram is unique anymore?
Not really. I mean, I don't really go on Instagram too much, really. I mean, like it's like I don't know. Like I actually like long form content more. I mean, I try to make long form content as much as possible, but I mean, Instagram's not really unique. Like it's not, it's nothing like I don't get excited about it. If you put it
Yeah.
that way. I don't
Yeah.
doesn't
It's
really inspire me to do anything.
yeah. I think now with the way the algorithm is, like you get a lot of ads and stuff, and but I think that I want to be inspired by images on there, and there's some really good photographers that I follow on there, and they have some really cool ideas, and
Yeah,
the way they're mixing their videos to make reels and stuff I think is very good now,
sure.
and a lot of
Yeah,
people and people are not taking advantage. People are really looking and saying, yeah, you know what, a picture is a picture, is great, but make that picture dance a little bit, and it makes it even
yeah,
more interesting,
yeah. No,
and
I know. That's
so
what I mean. Like it's yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a really crazy time with like AI going on and everything. So it's a really crazy time in like the creator space right now, right? So who knows what's going to happen like even like a year from now.
do you use AI at all?
No, not really. I
I
don't.
don't
I
I don't
don't.
know
I
how you.
don't use AI to like I use AI to like enhance audio of this podcast, for example, but I don't use AI to like make stuff up in like actual like uh, videos,
Yeah,
right?
I haven't dabbled into AI at all.
It's
Again, I
crazy.
think that the learning curves for what I do is steep enough, so I just don't want to overwhelm myself. Whether it's the new the new issues of Photoshop versus Lightroom, and you
Yeah,
know, again, what's the other one I use? Capture One. Like,
capture one. Yeah.
and you can't have them all, or you can. It's just expensive,
Oh yeah. It's not
right?
cheap. Right? It's not
Not
cheap.
cheap.
No,
So,
I know.
you can use old versions, I guess, too. But once you see that shiny light of something and something new, you might want to try and grab it. As a photographer, we always want that nice piece
We
of
always do. It never
stuff,
ends.
right? It
Once you
never
get
ends.
once you get the first shiny ball, you want the next one, right? Doesn't
Hmm.
really end. So
Yeah,
that's
I
what I
agree.
mean about kind of like honing on your craft and like just practicing your skills with like what you have, right? Because
Yeah,
that's what's really gonna make you better.
because truly, I guess once you get your set amount of lenses, and I'm sure you have 4 or 5 yourself.
Yeah,
Um, do you really need any more than that?
not really.
Not really, right?
Less
Like,
is more, also, right? Like you use less sometimes and see what you can come up with.
well, my go-to YouTube is
You know,
7200, and
right?
it would never leave my camera body.
Yeah.
Then I went into primes, I
Hmm.
think 35s, and I've never had a 50 before, but
Yeah.
35 and 20, and now the 105. The 105 is
Hmm.
my favorite lens, and
Yeah.
it's just crazy what it does for depth of field is. But
Nice.
and that's like I'm all about that too. I want that body, that person's face, that
Yeah. Yeah.
that subject to just pop out of the background, right?
Right. Yeah. Looks good, right?
Yeah, so that's what I try and do the
That's
most.
that's that's what people pay for, man.
Yeah, I just think it looks different. Again, and the natural shooters out there. I know there's a lot of people that do that, and there's a time for it for sure, and there's a
Yeah.
time when you have to do other things. And so, trying to be comfortable doing both is the best thing to do.
Yeah, and you get comfortable at just practicing.
Yeah, you just again keep shooting. That's all you
You
can
just
do.
need to practice in a low pressure environment. Use like a mannequin if you have to. Like just use something, right? Just so you know
Hmm.
how kind of like where the shadows fall and stuff. But
Do you shoot
um,
in studio a lot yourself, like your videos, or are they?
no, they're usually just outside, run and gun stuff, you know. So it's not. I mean, it's occasionally maybe, but it's usually outside or.
Yeah, well,
You know.
my shoots generally now are like so. I try to shoot for 5 hours. I know it seems like
Mm-hmm.
a long time,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm all about getting the number of looks. I
Yeah.
I want 8 to 10 looks from my photo shoot, and
Yeah.
so this weekend my schedule is basically I'm probably going to be shooting for about 3 hours outside, and
Right.
then take that to studio for another 2 or 3 hours.
Okay.
So then I just get almost like more bang for the buck for that day,
Yeah.
and just be completely done.
Yeah. So like you have like the looks like they're just in your head or do you have them like on paper
No,
somewhere?
so like we send mood boards back and forth.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, constantly sending you know images back and forth to each other,
Yeah.
and we trying to settle on the venue.
Right.
It's with the venues. I think you have to be careful because um, you need to know how to light the venue. So I know sometimes the mall will depend on me to pick the venue.
Yeah, okay.
But the theme is one thing, the venue is another. But I also like with the venues and the theme, I like to shoot opposites. So
Okay.
if you're wearing a dress, if you're wearing a dress, might be nice on the beach, but it might be even better in a garage.
Mm,
You know,
interesting.
on top of a building,
Right.
in front of a piece of artwork on downtown. Things
Yeah.
like railway tracks,
Okay.
railway lines.
Hmm.
You know, um, you know, what photographer hasn't been kicked out of space?
You haven't tried until you've done it. Until
Right.
you've
If
been
you
kicked
try,
out.
if you,
You
even
haven't tried until you've been kicked out.
yeah, and the photos you get from doing those bad locations
Right.
are the ones that make difference, right?
Yeah. Well,
So,
they probably look so good, right? Because they're so
you're like,
different.
oh my god, I got this, and
Yeah.
and it's bad to say sometimes they kick you out, but by the time they come to kick you out, you've already got your photos.
Yeah. It's like cool, cool.
I didn't say that though, but yeah.
No, that's never happened to Andrew.
No, no, but it's a lot of fun doing that, and when it's fun, shooting is supposed to be fun.
It's supposed to be. That's what I keep hearing, man.
So when you're giggling and laughing at your shoots and just having a good time and then making it easy,
Yeah.
and again that comfort level with the model you're shooting with is very important
Yeah.
because once you've shot a few times, you start loosening up a little bit, and you can get those photos. You can people. I say to people after some of my shoots, you're going to be sore after this because I'm gonna make you stretch. I'm gonna try and make you uncomfortable in your posing, so
Right.
we can get those exaggerated poses,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I guess
So
working with like a model more than once also helps with that. kind of being
Hmm.
in that flow state too.
Yes, and so yeah, so I do shooting fitness athletes or models
Right.
or competitive bodybuilders bikini. Um, Sometimes they are so lean that they can't actually shoot for very long
Yeah.
because
Okay.
sometimes their skin becomes really thin
Mm,
and they get
really?
dehydrated, right? So you have to be
Oh,
very
wow.
careful with that as well.
Oh, wow.
So you have to listen to what the model is actually feeling to actually shoot them.
Oh, so you gotta take breaks and
Take breaks and make sure they're hydrated, or sometimes they eat too. But
yeah.
say a competition is on Friday,
Oh, is that?
so pardon me.
Is it? Yeah, Friday.
No, yeah, say no. Say there's a competition this Friday, this coming Friday.
Okay.
I
Okay.
probably will not shoot them now. I probably should have shot them on last Friday or Saturday
Oh,
because they're they're weaning off they're weaning themselves off, so they're going to be really thin for
wow.
the thin skin for the shoot.
Right.
So they show the most
Wow.
musculature as possible.
Oh,
So
wow.
again, some of it is timing as well, right?
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Interesting. Interesting. The things you learn, eh?
Yeah, and like I said, fitness is what I started doing the most
Yeah.
first, and I actually kind of broadened my way from there. And with
Mm,
those fitness people, whether they're male or female, there's so many places you can go with those shoes, and there's so many
yeah.
so many props you can use and locations for those shoes to change the atmosphere of the
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah. No
That's
doubt.
the
Yeah.
important thing. Yeah, because a studio is a great place, but some of the studios I've been to, whether it's I can shout out some
Yeah. Icon. Yeah.
Icon Studios, or Studio by House. They're constantly changing their sets,
Are
and
they?
that's what makes it so great.
Mm,
They have great imaginations, and you guys people should venture to those ones.
okay.
Again, there's other ones out there, Wade Studio, which I've never
Right.
shot at, but I want to shoot there.
Yeah.
But again, those places are, you should check them out if you want studio time, and just don't be afraid to, supporting other businesses as well at the same time.
Yeah. Exactly. Support local business too, right? Like,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm wondering how they all. I wonder how they're all doing, right? So all these studios.
Yeah,
So this
I
much.
don't know. Again, Studio by House, Icon Studios, there seem to be,
Mm,
that's Studio by House has been around for a long time. Peter House there.
yeah.
Um, Icon Studios, more downtown. I think they've been open almost 2 to 3 years now.
Yeah.
Studio Bon Soleil has moved, but Marie Dam there, she always has a great space, and so these are really good content creators as well.
Yeah. Exactly. And plus, if you go with people or you go there, you might meet people there, and you might learn some stuff. And
Well,
you never
yeah,
know.
and I think workshops are still doing fairly well. I know it's summer now, so the studio time goes kind of down for everybody, so there's a lot of discounts out there.
Right.
But again, summer's only got another 3 weeks, and
Yeah.
we're back to the grind of
Yeah.
not shooting outside anymore, right?
No, I know. It's gonna be sad, man. I'm so depressed already.
Well, again, I'm shooting the beach this weekend a couple of times,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be at the beach by 5:15, and
That's
it's not
it?
it's not warm there because at 5:15 you start you get to
Oh,
your
man.
main location, but then you start thinking, okay, where am I actually going to shoot this time? Because again,
Right.
you don't want shots like other people may have had or
Yeah, you don't
locations
want that.
exact, right? So you
Yeah,
have to do some scouting again.
I need something different, man. You're there
So,
at 5 o'clock in the morning. Jeez, you need something different.
well, yeah, like I expect this weekend's supposed to be nice. The sunrise should be really cool in Toronto, I would
Yeah.
think. So
Yeah.
get some oranges out there, orange coloring out there.
Okay.
So you have to get out early, and again, the silhouettes you can make, all those kind of things
Mm,
in that light, right? Like
yeah.
so I don't know if models think about that stuff, but those are the shots that are very important to me because they just
Yeah.
look so different.
Yeah. They
And
look
when
good.
and when they get them, like yeah, this is what I got at 4 o'clock in the morning for.
That's why you're paying me for this, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of fun. But again, everyone has to do some kind of sacrificing. Like, you know, uh, say Scarborough Bluffs, like Burlington Beach is my favorite, but it's a little
Yeah.
far for me to drive this time because we have a studio in Mississauga afterwards.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna stick more closer to downtown. The gardener is not doing helping out either.
Right.
So like the Gardner Expressway having this construction on there kind of slows travel around the city around. But
Jeez,
so
man.
you have to account for all those things, right?
Well, I mean, it's there's gas money and all that. There's time, energy, all
And
these things got to factor.
yeah, and with the energy piece, like yeah, you at 4 o'clock in the morning when I wake up or set my alarm for that time, I won't want
Yeah.
to get up. But you know what? It's well worth it when you get there.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to go back to bed and say, I'm canceling this shoot.
Yeah, and then on the way there, you scout extra areas while you're driving. You're like, I should be shooting there, and
Yeah.
that's when sometimes the impromptu part of my shoot kicks in, and we'll shoot in the middle of the street, like
Right.
Wellesley in front of Toronto Police Service.
Yeah.
It was an odd place to shoot, but you know
On
what? It just
college?
pardon me
On college?
on Wells on not
Wellesley?
Wellesley Parliament
Parliament.
on
Okay. Yeah,
Parliament
there, eh?
right there, yeah, right beside right on, we're basically under near the bridge there, but near the distillery district,
Yeah.
right in front of
Oh,
there
I know where you
on
okay,
the street
yeah,
there.
yeah.
I
Yeah, yeah,
know it's a very odd place, but you know what? Again, that oddity in the photos is what you're looking for.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're mixing models with street photography at the same time.
Mm.
Why do that? Because it just looks good.
Well, it's like the artist's voice in you, right?
You got to. I think you have to try to use your imagination. I think that. Uh,
Yeah.
I think, like you said, you don't want to be the same as everybody else.
You don't want to, you don't want to, I mean, it's easy to kind of want that external validation, but I think in the long run you won't be fulfilled because you're not really doing what you want to do. It's kind of if you're trying to follow trends, like it's a very short-lived life, I think, because you've kind of lost your mojo. You've kind of lost that will to like wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning because you're not doing what you want to do, which is like, why are you doing this in the first place? Because you actually do you actually do want to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I
Again,
mean?
I think I I think I always surprise myself of the photos we get because I'm thinking, you know, you forget all that work you put in to get the photo you get.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
huge. Yeah.
you're doing so much research, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you're on YouTube a lot, and
Yeah.
uh, you know I'm on YouTube a lot, looking at how people light things, and how can
Yeah.
I use that when I'm in the field, and all those issues like that. It's just there's a lot of learning to do it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so when you put it when it all comes together, you're like it's so surprising. Yeah, you know what? I was able to put that together, and then the issue is, can I do it again?
Right. Oh, that's a challenge, right?
So that's
Yeah.
that's a challenge I like, and that
Yeah.
I'm up for.
Yeah. Is that what you're trying to get better at? Is just being able to like deliver over and over again, the same kind of thing?
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
if I like that photo there, okay, so I had a photo shoot once on a tennis court,
Yeah.
and um, and it just lucked out where the sun was really high in the sky, and I was able to get really low, and so I took the picture from the front, just a test photo, and the
Mm,
person's in complete silhouette, and
cool.
then I turned my flash on, did flash, and I was like, oh my, the person just leapt off the tennis court.
That's sick.
So it's like, where, and again, how can I replicate that? I don't. I would need the sun in the same position, wouldn't I?
You would, I guess,
I'd need
right?
the same tennis court. So some of these shots we're getting, and that the malls are getting, that we're all getting, and even when you do your videography, are truly
Yeah.
one-offs, aren't they?
It's hard to replicate the same shot.
Very, very hard. And
Very
so,
difficult. Yeah.
them being one-offs, it's like you want to get them right the first time.
Yeah.
Just like I'm sure you're very well versed using your drones and stuff now.
Yeah.
And you go on vacation or you go to a site, you
Right.
may not go there ever again. So you want to get as good a video the first time as you can get, right?
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it, right? Like, yeah, it is.
Well, because we've all been away and try to take some pictures of things we thought, and when we get back, we're like we're not really satisfied with them.
Mhm.
The only way to do that is to shoot more,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't know about you, but you say your video, you're shooting a lot of video, and there must be a tons of gigs worth of video that you have to go
Yeah.
through,
Oh
and
yeah.
and say for my shoots, I don't know, if say a 5-hour shoot for me, I might take 400 photos.
Yeah.
but
which is
which is not
reasonable.
bad. This is
Yeah, it's
reasonable.
reasonable. That's what I mean. Kind of going back to your point, like shooting to edit, like you need to shoot with intention. Photo, video, whatever the case is, like you need to have a plan in your head of how you're going to do this thing, just so you don't have a mess afterwards, right? Who wants to go through 5,000 photos? No, nobody, right? So
Yeah, and again, I'm not a paparazzi guy, thank God,
yeah,
and just slow on that trigger and just
yeah.
doing your thing, and you know, sometimes I wish I was more like that, but have going through
Well,
all
yeah, I
that,
mean, if you're actually a paparazzi, you probably would have to do that, but you're not.
yeah,
So
that I think that's must
yeah,
be hard for those guys to sort through what the photos they do get.
wow,
Like
it is right.
400 is bad enough, and so
Yeah,
hopefully in those 400 you have 8 or 9 wardrobe changes,
yeah.
right? Because I know some people will do headshots and they'll do like 400 headshots in a row. I'm like, oh, that's something that for the person to read through. Hopefully, they're taking more than 2 or 3.
Yeah. Well, it's important to have a plan in your mind of like how you're going to do it, and like also have the conversation with like the client and the models, just so everyone's on the same page, so things go more seamless, right? You
Yeah,
don't have to talk.
have there been? This might be a little off topic, but
Yeah.
have there been more get out and shoots going on, or is that slowed down, or
There's
what's
been a few. There's one coming up at the X that you should come out to if you're free, August 23rd.
August 23rd? Okay,
Yeah, at
yeah,
night.
because
At night. Yeah, you can bring a model. It'll be good.
well, yeah, I probably could. Some of those meetups like that are kind of good, and I do like doing some of the meetups as long as it's kind of a shared thing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you go to meetups and the person says, "Well, you can't use." I have an online forum that I use, like whether it's OnlyFans or whatever, and they'll
Okay.
say we can't use the photos. So you're like you're in meetup, so you're in a meetup for everyone to shoot everybody, and now
Yeah.
you can't do this. So it just has
Mm.
to be, my experience with the get out and the shoot's been really good so far, anyways.
Yeah,
And
they're usually pretty casual. I mean,
yeah, and
no
the
real hard to do.
photographers are varied, and I believe they're good too. So again, when you shoot the street is a very different place to shoot, and the imagination of some of the photographers has been really cool to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent in the city, man. A lot of talent. A lot
Mhm.
of talent in the city. A lot of people doing cool things, you know. So it's always good to see that
Yeah,
people out there.
you don't have to you don't have to be a photographer or a model with 30,000 followers to have great content.
No,
You know,
sometimes it's the people that are not on social media that have amazing work. It's like, oh, you're not on social media, oh, you just have a website. Okay, it's like, oh my god, your work's amazing.
yeah. Hmm.
So
I'm trying to see. I have a great like for a lot of European photographers now.
oh yeah,
Like, and I really do like black and whites now.
Mm,
I don't shoot predominantly black and whites, but I do turn some that way.
yeah,
But some of the contrast in these photos I've really started to like, and
okay.
trying to implement some of that into my game now.
Oh really? Yeah.
Hmm.
Little moody black and white.
Yeah, moody black and white, or just strong black and white. You're like, ooh, like that
Yeah,
looks really good. And even people shooting natural light black and whites is kind of cool as well.
yeah,
But again, getting that influence from different photographers is always a good thing. And there's obviously different options out there when you look, and different ways to edit. I'm not saying I truly want to change the way I edit, because I don't know if you truly can,
right.
but to try to do something different, like there's LUTs and stuff like that, which
Yeah,
just changes colors and stuff.
yeah,
But so I'm not really into those too much. But
yeah.
I like the person to have their natural skin colors too,
Of course.
and get rid of some of the reds.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's important to understand like your skill set and what you're good at, what you like to do. Like for me, like I'm not a color grader for video. Like that's not who I am. I mean,
Hmm.
people say color grade your video. Like I'm not a color grader though. Like it's not what I enjoy doing. So that's a whole other world. Like I understand like what my skill set is, and I just kind of leverage my skills to like deliver the best product possible. Right. So
Well,
you
yeah, with all that D log M or all
it's a
those
whole
things,
world, man. It's a whole
I'm like,
science. I'm
ooh,
not interested. Like I'm just not interested. Like I'm not.
yeah,
It looks good. It looks good, but I don't. It's not me, right? So
it's almost like there's almost too much to know at times, right? Like,
there is.
how do you get your head around all that stuff? And
You really need to love it.
because sometimes people will say, yeah, can you help me learn photography? And I'm like, ooh, I'm like,
Yeah, that's a little
that's hard.
question, man.
Yeah, because you have to get out there and you just have to
Yeah,
shoot for yourself.
I almost feel that asking that question, it's kind of putting yourself in a bad position because you should already know if you like it or not, like internally.
Well, and you run into say students from colleges who did take photography,
Yeah,
and you're talking to them and they don't know how to shoot in manual, and you're like going, wow,
yeah,
that's really strange,
yeah.
right?
Bizarre. You paid all that money for what?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, ooh, and I know the professors maybe taught them that way, but
It's wild.
again, the point is you have to just get out and shoot a lot to figure out
Yeah,
what you want to do.
yeah, and understand like what you're good at and what you like to do and what you're not good at and what you don't like to do. So you need to kind of like have that Venn diagram so it all lines up where you can do what you want to do and get paid for it. The
Yeah, because
dream.
it's I guess it's nothing like being paid for something you enjoy doing, right?
Well, you get paid for something that you don't enjoy doing, then it becomes a job. And
Right.
and you know what happens with jobs? You quit them, right? So
Well, and maybe that's the thing about photography, because I do know numerous photographers who aren't shooting at all now,
yeah,
and whether it's the commercialism of it
hmm
or the pressure to get clicks and likes,
yeah, sure.
is taking away from things.
Burns you out.
Yeah, and because you want to be creative, but if people aren't seemingly appreciating your work, you might turn yourself off, right?
That's burnout, man.
But
It's a real thing.
so regardless of not wanting to shoot, you probably should shoot anyways.
Yeah, well, that's again, that's yeah. I mean, that's where it gets a little tricky because that's where you may go down the path of like, oh, I'm just gonna quit this forever. You know,
Yeah, my
yeah.
thoughts are like, spend a lot of money on equipment. I want to keep using it.
That is the
I,
justification.
I go through so I use Godoc's
Yeah, yeah.
throws generally,
Mhm.
and so I've had some issues with batteries when they if you don't use them for a while, they go kind of dormant. And you have
Yeah,
to basically boost the battery again, and
right.
so just keep shooting so that doesn't have to happen.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. That's like that's like your whole way of getting through it, getting through
Yeah,
the
it's like
season. Yeah,
don't let these things die on me because they're expensive, and just do your thing, right?
wow, man. Yeah, no, it's a real thing. Burnout's a real thing, man. It's a tough game sometimes, you know. I think social media has glamorized the creator space a little bit where it's all like sunshine and rainbows, but
Yeah, and
there's a whole other side to it, you know.
well, yeah, and like I said, when I go to the fashion shows, and the fashion shows are great, and the designers do great work, and the makeup artists and the models are really patient and do their thing. It's really amazing,
Yeah,
but it must be tiring trying to put yourself out there all the time to do that,
yeah. Right.
and because we're all trying to chase that dream of getting noticed, I guess.
Yeah, we all are, yeah. It's a
And
human thing.
it's a lot of you got to do a lot of work to get noticed, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, tell that to Picasso, right?
Well, yeah,
Tell
and
that to all the greats.
yeah, we talked earlier off camera there about
Yeah,
watermarks. Why are
yeah.
watermarks on pictures? Well, it's to help give the photographer credit, and people say they don't want the watermarks on there. And then I just said Picasso has his watermarks on his paintings,
Monet does.
and he's not alive. And what are they doing with that? People
Yeah,
they don't scrape them off, right?
right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so all that stuff's interesting, and photography again is a love of mine, and I just want to continue doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you're crushing it. You're crushing it.
Yeah.
It's the love. It's the passion. You can sense it. I love it. I'm pumped up. I want to go shoot now outside.
Oh yeah,
The
again,
sun is setting. It's golden hour.
yeah, it is. Summer's almost over.
Let's go.
Ironically, I don't shoot it. Oh, I rarely shoot at sunset though.
Yeah, it's only sunrise, right?
Yeah,
Now,
because
why is that?
um,
You like waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
no, I don't. But I think that um, there's less people around,
Oh, I get you.
so you don't have to. Now with AI, I guess you can remove people, but
Less distractions too,
less
I
distractions,
suppose.
and like say you're at the beach even. City of Toronto, City of Burlington, great at grooming beaches as well. And
Yeah.
so getting to an ungroomed beach, it's
Ah, looks
that's all,
good.
That's good
Snatch.
stuff, right?
Yeah. That's not Photoshop. That is a real
That's right.
untouched beach.
So, a lot of things I do are not edited, and
Love
that's a
that.
good thing,
Well,
right?
that's what they pay for, man.
Yeah. So just bring on more people, and that's what I want.
Bring on more people. Cool, buddy. Well, we're up against the hour, so I just want to say thanks again for coming on.
No problems. I hope to
Don't
do
be a
it again.
stranger.
So August 23rd.
Yeah, August 23rd, come after 6 or something. You can bring a model.
Sounds good. I'm gonna try.
I think it'll be a lot of fun. You can teach me some stuff. We can make some reels.
Yeah, I'll just bring, I'll bring my cart, and yeah, bring my cart and my
All
little
right,
flash and stuff, and we can go there.
I'll message you closer to the day. Maybe we can set something up.
Sounds good. Sounds
Cool,
good.
bro. Anyway, thanks for everyone watching and listening. Go check out Andrew, and if you're in the GT area and you want to go shoot with Andrew, go check him out. And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Take care.